What happens when you take a twin-turbo V12 engine, wrap it in carbon fiber that costs more than most people's houses, and name it after an ancient Incan wind god? You get a machine that makes Ferraris look like grocery getters and turns grown men into speechless children. This is the Pagani Huayra, and at $3 million, it's not just expensive. It's a statement that says you've officially made it in life. The Huayra isn't just another supercar. It's what happens when an obsessive Italian perfectionist decides that regular supercars aren't nearly insane enough. Every single component on this machine has been crafted, tested, and refined to a level that borders on the ridiculous. From the hand-stitched leather that takes 40 hours to complete to the titanium exhaust system that weighs less than a bicycle, nothing about this car makes sense from a practical standpoint. And that's exactly why it's brilliant. Let's start with what makes this thing move. Under that gorgeous carbon fiber engine cover sits a 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged V12 built by Mercedes-AMG. This isn't your typical AMG engine, though. This is a completely bespoke unit that produces 730 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers alone would be impressive in any car, but in something that weighs just 3,097 pounds, they become absolutely devastating. The power delivery is unlike anything you've experienced. The turbos don't hit you like a brick wall the way they do in some modern supercars. Instead, there's this building crescendo of power that starts around 2,000 RPM and just keeps climbing until you hit the 7,000 RPM red line. The acceleration is violent yet refined, brutal yet sophisticated. 0 to 60 happens in just 3.2 seconds, but it's the way it gets there that sets it apart from every other supercar on the planet. Pagani spent years perfecting the transmission for this car. They could have gone with a dual-clutch automatic like everyone else, but that would have been too easy. Instead, they partnered with X-Track to develop a 7-speed sequential manual transmission that's operated by paddles behind the steering wheel. Every shift is a mechanical event you can feel and hear. The transmission doesn't just change gears, it performs them with the precision of a Swiss watch and the drama of a Shakespearean play. But raw power means nothing if you can't control it, and this is where Pagani's obsession with aerodynamics becomes apparent. The Huayra features active aerodynamics that would make a Formula One engineer jealous. 4 independently controlled flaps, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, constantly adjust based on speed, steering angle, and braking force. These aren't just for show. They're critical to keeping this car planted at the speeds it's capable of reaching. The top speed is officially rated at 238 miles per hour. But honestly, that number doesn't tell the whole story. This car feels stable and composed, at speeds that would have lesser machines shaking apart. The active aero system creates a pocket of controlled air around the car, reducing drag when you need maximum speed and increasing downforce when you need maximum grip. Stick around until the end to see the one secret feature that Pagani hides from most buyers and the insane story behind how they test these cars before delivery. The carbon fiber construction of the Huayra represents some of the most advanced composite work in the automotive industry. The monocoque chassis is made from what Pagani calls carbo-titanium, which is carbon fiber woven with titanium threads. This creates a structure that's incredibly strong, yet remarkably light. The entire body weighs just over 400 pounds, which is less than the engine alone in most luxury cars. The interior of the Huayra is where function meets pure artistry. The dashboard is carved from a single piece of aluminum that takes over 100 hours to machine. Every surface that you touch is covered in the finest leather, sourced from cattle that lived at high altitudes where there are no insects to bite them and create imperfections in the hide. The seats are sculpted carbon fiber shells wrapped in this premium leather that's so soft it feels more like fabric than traditional automotive leather. The instrument cluster is a work of mechanical art. Instead of digital displays, you get physical gauges with jewel-like precision. The tachometer sweeps through its arc with the smoothness of a mechanical watch, and the speedometer is calibrated to read up to 250 miles per hour. Even the window switches are carved from solid aluminum and operate with a tactile click that feels more expensive than most car door handles. But what really sets the Huayra apart isn't just the individual components, it's how they all work together. This is a car that was designed as a complete system rather than a collection of impressive parts. The engine, transmission, suspension, aerodynamics, and even the interior all work in harmony to create something that's greater than the sum of its parts. The driving experience is transcendent. At low speeds, the Huayra is surprisingly docile. The clutch is light, the steering is precise without being heavy, and the ride quality is actually quite comfortable. You could drive this car to dinner without arriving looking like you've been in a fight. But when you decide to explore its capabilities, everything changes. The throttle response is immediate and linear. There's no turbo lag, no hesitation, just instant savage acceleration that pushes you back into those perfectly sculpted seats. The sound is intoxicating, a combination of mechanical precision and barely contained violence that changes character as the revs build. At low RPMs, it's a sophisticated rumble. At high RPMs, it becomes a banshee wail that makes your hair stand on end. The handling is supernatural. The steering provides feedback that borders on telepathic, telling you exactly what each front tire is doing at any given moment. The car changes direction with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel, yet it never feels nervous or twitchy. It's confidence-inspiring in a way that few cars at this performance level manage to achieve. Here's that secret I promised. Every single Huayra undergoes a 24-hour endurance test at Pagani's private test track before delivery. This isn't just a simple drive around the block. It's a full-speed, no-holds-barred torture test designed to reveal any potential issues before the car reaches its owner. The test includes everything from maximum speed runs to emergency braking tests, all conducted by professional drivers who know exactly how to push these machines to their limits. And here's the insane part. If any car fails this test, it's completely disassembled and rebuilt from scratch. The Huayra represents the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering and artistry. It's a car that exists because someone decided that good enough simply wasn't good enough. Every component, every surface, every detail has been obsessed over to a degree that borders on the irrational. And the result is a machine that doesn't just transport you from point A to point B. It transforms the very act of driving into something approaching a religious experience. At $3 million, the Huayra isn't just expensive. It's a statement about what's possible when money is no object, and compromise is not an option. It's automotive art that happens to be capable of 238 miles per hour. And for the fortunate few who can afford one, it represents the ultimate expression of automotive passion.